had somebody who's formerly incarcerated in their office, and I wasn't about to go into the warehouse. Right. So I struggled for the first year of really trying to obtain employment, and then until I began to peep the system that there was community-based organizations that were available who were looking for, as you said, peer educators.
Yes.
That was able to, and those who have lived experience to be able to do that. And so that was what I needed. I really needed, as a woman, I needed to have that support on that end and the reintegration into my family. Because, you know, men are kind of expected to be gone, whether if it's military, whether if it's a job across the state, or they trucking, or they in prison, period. But no one was there to help me and give me a voice and give me the support in the safe space to talk about what it was like to be away from my children for 10 and 12 years and having to deal with the issue of losing that bond. So I just want to say that there was gender-based issues, special circumstances that was connected to me being a woman that was not available. And I think that could have helped me navigate and not have to be re-traumatized, re-victimized, and isolated and alone in the first 2 years of my journey home.
So when you say that, it is one of the reasons why I asked those of you that are here to be here specifically to have female input and for this to be a co-ed group, because women are incarcerated and there are specific needs. As you said, one of the things I think that you said was really powerful is how it is almost in society acceptable for men to be away from home at some level, even though incarceration is not necessarily it, but it is acceptable. People adjust. They always expect dad to be at work. You know, that is a societal norm that is okay. But mom is supposed to be there for the kids. And what happens when, how much time did you do?
15.
15. What happens to the kids when mom's doing 15 years? Ma'am, how many years did you do?
17 and a half.
17 and a half. That's a lifetime. That's a lifetime. That's a childhood. How many years did you do?
Last time?
Yes, that's right. The last time.
36.
36. Okay. Now this is a person who started doing time at 11 years old in youth authority. Okay. So there's a lot of years of incarceration just with that. So again, that is one of the reasons it was important to me to have females here to be able to explain those things that they need, because so often the resources are geared toward men. They're geared toward men. They're geared toward their experience. It's been just in recent, I would say probably the last 10 years, that even in parole and probation, that they started really paying attention to the fact that the needs are different. Men want to reconnect with their children. Women have a different level of a need to reconnect with their children. And it's also extremely difficult for women to reconnect with their children. A lot of times, and I know this from dealing with women from CIW, is that the children probably have that same thought that you do. It's one thing for my dad to be away, but mom? And there's a level of resentment, yes.
I just want to say, to add to that men get the opportunity to reconnect with their children, but when women who have been incarcerated, whether if it's from a short time or a long time, their children are handed back to them. Like, here go your kids, here they go.
Oh, wow.
And that happens a lot.
Wow.
With a lot of women, as you begin to understand, is that for those that are maybe fighting the system, even though their kids, they may have their kids, they may still have to fight the system due to incarceration. But for the most part, most of our shared experience is that women are giving their children back okay, your mama home now, here you go. Whereas that men have the opportunity to have that reconnection where mothers are expected to take back the responsibility of, and then there's a lot of issues there, and that's where a lot of recidivism
Yes.
sits in. That is the pressure to get the house, to get this, to get everything back to normal, and then here comes the drug addiction, or here comes the stealing to provide, and or either criminalizing survivalhood. So I just want to say that.
That's very important because I wasn't aware of the difference, but when you say that, I understand that men get the time to kind of ease back into it, and women is dumped on you immediately. And Kelly, I would also like to say, or often either that or you can't have any contact with your kids. It goes from one extreme to the next, right? Either they dumped on you and they expect you to be able to provide for them and deal with them and all of that right away, or you can't have no contact with your kids, and you need to be you need to have a house, you need to have a job, you need to have all these things before you can ever even see your children. And either way, the level of stress is there. You wanted to say something?
Yeah. The reason I never got married,
Uh-huh.
because I always knew I was going to be in prison. And I didn't want to have kids and me be sitting in prison.
Right.
You know, I've seen so much, like guys talk about, well, when my kid come up here on visiting day, I'm going to straighten his ass up. And I used to tell him, what the hell are you going to do for 2 hours? Like they're going to, yeah, daddy, and kiss my butt,
Right.
I had a celly like that, and he was telling me, when my kid comes this time, I told him, you know what, you're full of crap. I said, your kid's gonna agree with you and then,
Go ahead and do whatever they want.
or not come up no more with his mom.
Okay. Right.
But you got no power.
And you have the ability to impart, and there's such a balance in trying to parent from behind the walls.
Yeah.
Because how can you tell me what to do and you're not here?
And why are you there?
Right. And then how do you even explain that? Just the mere fact of even trying to explain to a child why you're not in their lives every day. And one of the topics I know that I want to talk about is how people sell that to their children. Because I know somebody told their child that that their dad was at college, and he was gone for 10 or 12 years. What kind of degree he got?
State pen.
And listen, and children, well, he sure is in college for a long time. They know other people that went to college. So what does that lie do? How does that affect them? How does that cause them does it create resentment when they find out, no, you weren't? Because ultimately, they're going to find out the truth at some point. And particularly in today's times, because we have the internet. So how is it that they're going to feel when they find out you weren't in college or you weren't on vacation? And when they tell them they're on vacation, okay, well, how long are they on vacation? Because I know I got to go back to school. It's only summer vacation ain't but a couple months. Well, how do they get to be on vacation all the time? So it's important to, I know that's one of the topics that we're going to discuss. How did you handle that? And what were the reverberations? What were the consequences